Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Cam from Flatline here, and an absolute scrumptious video is about to come to you boys today. So, as you heard in the last video, Ty was always complaining about me not getting my bushings done. So, I went ahead and started off with my front control arm bushings, baby. So, these are Condor Speed Shop polyurethane offsetted bushings. The offsetted is for adding front caster, which helps with your steering stability. Makes you want to go in a straight line, but when you turn, it freaking gives you like really good like response in the steering wheel. It basically tightens up your steering wheel. Basically, the best way to put it is by looking at a shopping cart front wheels. You know how they're like kind of pitched like this a little bit, and it keeps them from going straight. Like keeps them going straight. That's basically it. But we got the beautiful E46 over here on the ramps because we gotta jack her up and put her on jack stands, and I don't really feel like spending an hour trying to get an inch of jacking done because there's only like 4 inches of actual clearance for the actual jack underneath there. So we put it on ramps, and then I'm going to jack it up even higher, and then I'm going to put jack stands and then go to work. It's actually kind of an easy job. The only annoying part is going to be the actual getting the old bushings off due to the fact that I don't think they're one piece anymore. I think they're 2 pieces, and then it's going to cause basically the second broken off piece to be stuck rubber welded to the metal, so I just gotta chisel it off or take my knife to it. But that's it for this intro. Next time you see me, I'll be doing some cool stuff with these.
Yo, I kinda gotta pee.
Same.
Are you okay? Come on.
I didn't know that was gonna start.
Alright guys, so right now we're here with our boy Jack Stand Timmy here. He's an absolute stud. He's been through World War 3, 2, and 7. And right now I'm going to be showing you where the jacking point, if you don't know, it's kind of not shown anywhere, but the actual jacking point for the BMW is to put jack stands underneath it because BMW doesn't have pinch welds around the whole side. But alright boys, so we're underneath the car right now. This little flat thingy that is very dented in because my car is 3 inches off the ground. But this thingy right here is where the jacking point for the car is. And a little sneak peek of the bushing right there. I'll show you how to tell if they're bad. You can, oh, that's hot. You can clearly see that that is bad. I don't know if you can actually see that. It's kind of, I'm blocking it with my hand, but it's pushed off to one side. That's the very bad side. This side, the driver's side, is very bad. But as of right now, I'm going to jack it up a little bit. Get some... The fuck is that? Get some jack stands underneath there, and then we will get to work. Look at my muffler hanging down there. So a really good test to see if your bushings are bad or not. When it's jacked up, my car got so bad that I could do it when the car is on the fucking ground. But what you could do is take your car like this, grab it at 3 and 9. You shouldn't be able to wiggle it forward and backwards like this and hear that noise. So that means your bushing is shot. And now I'm going to show you how to replace it. Alright, so there's going to be a total of, I'm pretty sure, 8 bolts for this metal skid plate at least. So everywhere there is a hole, there is going to be a bolt that is a 17 mil. And I recommend you blast the hell out of it with freaking PB Blaster because these are very difficult to come out. So I'm going to get the rest of these out, drop this whole bad boy, and then I'll show you the next step before we can touch the actual bushing. Okay, so I completely lied. My car, some of the BMWs will have a subframe bracing underneath here. It honestly might be an all-wheel drive X-Drive thing. I don't know, because I saw a couple videos with them having it and a couple videos of them not having it. But now, this makes it way easier because you would have to remove a screw here, and then something would go back there. But, so now, literally, all we have to do is just remove these two bolts that are holding in these, and then you want to make sure that you get the right carrier bushing for each side. So say this one, for example, is actually not for this side. Actually, no, I have it backwards. Hold on. Actually, it's correct. Oh, wait, no, it's not for this side. Okay, so this one is for the opposite side. Okay, so I gotta flip it 100. No, I had it correct actually. Okay, my bad. So the side that is gonna be slid in is the side that has the taper on it, because it's gonna have to go over this portion of the control arm. And after you remove these two bolts, this control arm is going to drop. So please brace yourself for that, because you do not want to get fucking bopped in the head. But I will come back in a couple seconds after I remove this one to go after the new step and show you the uninstallation of the old bushing. Hopefully it goes pretty smooth, because sometimes it could really piss you off. Okay, so I went ahead and did the other side. It went on actually not that hard. I just had to figure out something. And if you have this tool, it fits perfectly like this. And to get the bushing off, you literally hit right here and it will pop it right off. Until I found this, it took a while. And as soon as I found that, dude, it literally came off almost instantly. But now I'm gonna go ahead and start getting to removing this one. And then once I get to that step of me beating the absolute daylights out of it, I will show you. As of right now, I'm gonna remove these two screws like I did on the other one. And then I'm gonna install this bad boy. Okay, I am now at the stage of where I am going to be removing this bad boy. So I'm gonna take my little pitchfork looking thing, and then make sure to be careful with the oil pan and your little oil pressure sensor, even though it doesn't really work on my car. But take a hammer and just kind of bash it a little bit. This side's gonna be a little bit awkward because I am actually reversed of what I was doing in the last side, and I had this way. So I'm gonna take my sludgy hammer, and then, oh, this is awkward now. Oh, this is awkward now. I gotta rotate myself the other direction. 1 second, boys. Okay, so now that I am rotated, I don't know how the lighting is gonna be, but I'm just gonna start hitting. Gotta make sure it's nice and up against it. Oopsies, I just whacked the camera. Well, now that you got kind of a basic premise of what I'm doing, I'll come back when it's done, because the camera's actually starting to die, so I need to quickly do this real quick. Alright, so now it's to the point where I got this off. It took me a little bit because for some reason this one was very on there. So I really just started beating the absolute daylights out of it, and then it finally came off. The next step you got to do before you put the bushing on is you got to sand this a little bit just to make it fit better, because instead of having a rubber, hold on, I wonder if I actually still have it on the ground here. Let's see. I think I sent it into the shadow realm. Oh, no, I got it. So on the inside, it's rubber, and then it goes to metal, and then it goes to rubber. But the new bushing is just straight metal to the polyurethane. So to make it fit properly, you have to sand it down a little bit. You still want it to be snug, but you want to actually sand it down to make it slide on better, because if you don't, you are going to have a fun time. Trust me, I tried. But now I'm going to get the new bushing on, and then I'm going to align it up to this. It's not going to go nice and flat with it at first. You're going to want, it's going to like kind of like stick into these little studs that are here. And then after that, you just got to put you got to put the bolts in, and then you got to kind of just like go to town on it. And then you got to torque it down to 45 Newton meters. It's either foot-pounds or Newton meters. I'll put a correction if it's Newton meters or foot-pounds, but I'm pretty sure it might be foot-pounds. And then yeah, you're pretty much set. Got to get in alignment if you are going off the road. And I'm just going to finish sanding this. I'm going to put it on, and then I'll come back to you when I'm tightening the bolts. Yeah. All right, guys, so I got the bushings installed. I have no more, try to push it, but like I have no more side-to-side motion. And I also got the new caster angles. Oh, and also, to get the caster angles, you want to make sure you have it angling out towards the car so it technically pushes the wheels forward to give it a little bit more caster. So, take that in note. If you do it backwards, you'll just make your steering worse. If you use these bushings, but if you use the centered ones, it doesn't really fucking matter because they're not going to really do anything besides give you the polyurethane feel and just longer life because it's not rubber. But thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna clean up, finished up, put up the little pan underneath. Thank you guys for watching. I'll give you guys a driving review after, probably not today, maybe tomorrow, because it's actually pitch black out. It's like 10 something, and I want to go to bed. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Ty is going crazy, and I'll see you beautiful people later. Okay guys, so there's a reason why I'm back in the garage. So with a 20-year-old car, when you replace one bushing, it tends to show you what else needs to be fixed. And I guess the death wobble wasn't just because of the bushing. I need new tie rods. That's what we're gonna be doing in this half of the video. Stay in. I lost my train of thought. Get ready for it, boys. We're about to do some tie rods. He's got a big rod. We had the name for the other Jack. This one's Jack Stan Wimmy. He's a very good boy. He has a really wiggly Timmy. Very good guy.
Yeah, I think you're going too far with this.
So.
I think you should squat your car, Cameron.
Why would I?
It looks way better squatted. I don't know your
My car's already got a race stance on it. Back end's higher than the front. So this side is the bad side, and I didn't realize how bad this side was because it was never this bad, but I think the bushings finally killed them. Let's go to the other side real quick. Other side? It's not as good, but it's a lot better. And I knew it was the other side because every time I hit a bump on the right side, that's when I would get the death wobble. This side would just fucking clunk. But, Ty cut the camera. But, surprisingly not, this is actually a pretty easy job because it's nothing like Volvo's where you need to have an Allen key inside of the bolts to undo the actual nut. This, you just gotta take a fucking wrench to it and it comes right out.
Those are my sway bar end links. Those were not my tie rods.
We had to do it for the tie rods too.
Yeah, but they were easy.
Well, this I could just fucking crank on it.
You're acting right like my front left coilover didn't take us 7 minutes.
I know it did. It was so fucking fast.
What's on the car?
It's my sway arm ball joint. Cause this tie rod feels. Oh. No, tie rod's bad too. You shouldn't be able to move it that freely. Okay, so when you're doing suspension bushings, you tend to find things that you never really realize until after you replace one thing, and then you find another issue. So with the tie rods are half the issue. The actual sway arms themselves, the bushing. Read stop. The bushing itself, and I should be able to. Yeah, up and down too. I have up and down and left and right movement. It's this ball joint right here. And the thing about these stock BMW ones is you have to buy a whole new control arm in order to replace it because of just the way that they designed them. They're a one piece for longevity, and this thing's got 160K. And the thing is, I had this for who knows how long because I had a death wobble for a while. But it turns out that the death wobble was being muffled by the stock bushing because of how bad it was, because that thing was shot. So this thing was freaking shopping carting down the road, And I didn't even know until I changed the actual bushing. And you can actually see how much caster it added. If you come down here, I'll take the camera. You can see how much caster it added. Here, Reed, you want to toss me the light real quick?
Yep.
See how much caster it added. That's a good amount of caster on that baby. I gotta say, besides the death wobble, this thing drives night and day different. Like, the turn-in response and everything is just ridiculous in this car now. Like, before I used to have to turn my steering wheel 15 degrees to do what I have to do with 2 degrees now. And it's amazing. And it also tightened up my suspension. You can see the poly bushing down there. We got a better light here in the Reed garage. Oh, I got little rocks up there. Look at them down there, little cutie. But yeah, and these are the Bill Stein suspensions right there. And I need brakes because they're going in, but I can still lock my tires up, so I don't really care. But now we're gonna get to uninstalling the tie rods, and that will be next. I will show you how to do those. It's actually pretty freaking easy. Alrighty, so you know the deal. I did the other side first because I want to make sure it went flawlessly. This bolt's probably going to be a biatch on this side, but as of right now, I am undoing the actual tie rod bolt. It gets very tight towards the top. Very tight. So I'll come back to you once this one's done to show you the next step, because this is going to take a minute. Okay, now, so the next step is, here, I'll take it for you. The next step is you want to remove the little snap clips on both sides of the boot. You're going to want to take a flathead to that and just kind of just pry it until they come apart. Pi's yelling. Just got to quickly pop those off, and then you can move the boot away. And then on the steering rack itself, there is, I believe, 1.5 inches. I'm pretty sure it's 1.5 inches thick nut that you have to undo. And then after that, it'll just come right out. And then after, if you want to somewhat actually keep it in alignment, then what you got to do is you got to take both the tie rods together, unless you have a bent tie rod, but these are not bent. You got to take both of them, put them next to each other, and kind of get them aligned, and then you could drive to the alignment shop. But I have to wait until I get my control arms to fix. Should it be that free moving? And that's the bushing right here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll put the light on it. The boot has actually separated from the ball joint, and a bunch of goopy got in there, and now that ball joint is shot. Buy aftermarket ones that don't use a rubber bushing, because very big problem, and you can't replace them. So that's another downside of the stock ones. I'm gonna remove those clips, and then I'll come back to you when I'm removing that big fat nut.
Boy.
Alright guys, so now I'm underneath the car. Tell you if you want to get up close and personal with me. I'll show you what we're working with here. Underneath the boot, right here, we got this absolutely massive 1.5 inches. I don't have 1.5 inches. I only have like 1 inch and like 1/8. So I can't get it with an actual thing. So I grab it with this. And then to loosen it, you want to push towards the car. Oh, I gotta flip it. You want to push towards the car. It was very hard because these are very torqued on there. You're blinding me, Reed? Oh shit, I think I'm going the wrong way. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Oh, it's reversed. It's reversed because I'm on the other side now. Oh my god. Yeah, you're going to be fighting this for a couple minutes because this is very torqued on there. I'll come back when it's off and I'll show you how to adjust your tie rods. Alright, so now that you got your bushies out, you want to make sure these are pointing straight up, pretty much even as possible. And then you line up the tips. And then what you want to do is make sure the whole thing is perfectly lined. And then you want to twist the new tie rod until it about gets to pretty much even with the top of this bolt. A little bit more, I would say. I need to go a lot more. So I would say that's about even. So what you want to do is you want to take your little, slide this bad boy over. Oh wait, I almost did. No, never mind. Forget what I'm saying. Because when you get the one that comes with the new booties, I'm gonna use my handy dandy knife tool, aka house key. You get this, your new boot. I don't know why it comes with two, but right in here, just gotta pop that right out. Takes a lot of force to get the freaking thing out, and it also takes a lot of force to get the thing in. So use something to pry it out. Just kind of work its way around and stuff. Just go whoop, comes right out. Okay, so this one's not like that. I think this one's the one that comes apart. Yeah, this one's the one that comes apart. I would use this one just so you don't have to take apart the what's it called. But in the end, it will go right here in this little cutout. And now follow me over to the good old vise over here, senior tie. What are you even looking at? Follow me over here to the senior vise. Beautiful new workstation over here. Show me. Then you pop it in here. Get it nice and decently tight, not too much. And what you want to do is just lock it as much as you can. And then get your handy dandy tool. It's about the right size. This one's cooperating a lot better. You just get it nice and on there. It doesn't have to be too overkill. Just so it will never come off ever again. Just like that. Because the way these ones work, it's not two bolts that go together. It's a little flanged piece of like metal tube that goes onto a slightly getting thicker piece of metal. And right there, see how it has a little slit? It tightens it down, gets it nice and tight. This ain't going nowhere. And now your tie rod is basically ready. So now next step is you gotta take that, you wanna grab that for me, the boots and the little rubber circle thingy. You wanna take the little rubber circle thingy, put it on here, and then slide the booty on, the big boot on after, and then attach it, and then you're gonna take the little metal clamps that come with it, and then it's gonna be a little bit annoying to do. So you take these bad boys right here. Oh, you grabbed the wrong one. Grab the other one, Reed, hurry, hurry. Look at all that freaking fresh lube in there. Okay, so you take your doobobber right here, spread it apart, goes into that notch. Then you take this bobber doobie. It's a little bit annoying, but it will go on. I'll put this on when I get towards the car, but that's basically it. Now I'm gonna go back to the car and show you how to install it. Okay, so now that you're underneath the car, it's time to, actually, I'm gonna wipe that off real quick. My hand. So now, you're gonna take the big fat stubby end, and you're gonna start threading that bad girl in there. It's gonna take a couple seconds, because it's kind of hard to bend that bushing. Come on, baby. There we go. Now she's threaded. And that, since you got a new bushing, you could basically just twist it, and the pressure in the bushing, because it's nice and tight tolerance, you just spin it all the way until she gets on there nice and neat. And then boom, you're at the edge of what the bushing will allow you to twist. And then now, you just gotta find a big wrench, a long tube, because that is supposed to go down to 75 Newton meters, which is like 55 foot-pounds, I think. Something like that. I don't really know. I didn't really look at the foot-pounds. But you gotta get that on there pretty tight. So I'm about to make a contraption now. Let me do that because you can't really get a socket on there. It's all about feel. Once you feel like it's about how it was when you pulled it off, that's pretty much when it's gonna be good. And then I'll come back to you once I'm actually doing the tie rod. Actually, when I'm doing the boot, and then the tie rod. It's gonna be in that order. All right, see you when I'm doing the boot. All right, so now put your little rubber boy back on there, and then you gotta somehow painstakingly take 8 years off of your total lifespan of stress to get this boot over the rubber circle boy. Just gonna really work it on there. It's a biatch, but it will eventually go on. That's not even close to being on. Oh, I definitely did a lot better than the last side. This literally took me half the time. Okay, so now that you got that on, you take your smaller snap ring, and you just pop it around, and then there's a little like sticky stick boy that goes in, and you literally just pull it till it's tight, and then you push it to the point where it just clicks right into this little lock that's on it, and then boom, like that. Test it, make sure it's not coming off anytime soon. That's not coming off anytime soon. That's just gonna split a little bit, but that's alright. Now, slide the big boy on. You getting this tie?
Yep.
Looks like you're getting half my bumper.
Nope.
Really? Then you slide this bad boy on. Oh shit, I know what's going on. Somebody take my keys on the ground and straighten up my wheel.
Okay.
Okay, so now that the wheel is straight, you can actually have something to work with. Gives it a little bit more slack on the actual boot itself. You just twist it on there, push it until it stops. Make sure your top is on with it. And then take your snap ring. This one's a little bit different and kind of more finicky. It's actually like that. This one's a B and a half to use. But I'm blocking it. I'm sorry. I gotta use my head real quick to see. Boom. Clicked in. Give it a little tuggy tug. Yeah, it's definitely not going anywhere. So now we get to the next step, the fun part. You gotta take this, kind of just like, we gotta bend that to break it free a little bit, and then you turn your wheel like that, slide it up in there, and then boom. And then watch out, tie it back up a little bit. Grab this bag. Oh, it's already out. You take your new locking bolt. Make sure you use new bolts for this because you will not have fun. And the way these ones are designed, they have an Allen on top, and you got to use a ratchet. What's it called? I'm just gonna pop it in there more. It's not all the way in, but you gotta get I would recommend using a ratcheting spanner for this, and the new bolt is going to be 18 millimeters instead of the 19 mil of the OEM one. That's just how this kit is. I'm gonna quickly change positions and I'll be right back. Okay, so now you tighten it to the point where the Allen key is starting to turn by itself. And so now, oh, and I lied. For some reason, this one's a different size than the other one. Just the bolt itself is different. This one is 3/4, aka 19 millimeters. So it's 1 millimeter bigger than what it was before. And then you just literally just stick your Allen key in there, and you can start freaking cranking down on her. It gets to a certain point where you won't have to do it no more. So you just gotta keep cranking until it gets to that point. You'll feel your wrench hand like this start getting tighter. So now, I actually don't know if she's actually going in or not. I don't know if she wants to cooperate. But I'll just keep going with this. Actually, I'm gonna restart. Because that doesn't look right. This one's way lower. Because there is like a little section that actually has to slide into the, what's it called? I don't think it's lined up perfectly yet. Okay, I was just making sure that was the right kind of bolt. Oh, great. Okay. Okay, I guess it did seat itself in there. I just took that off for no reason. Okay. But at least now I shouldn't have to use the Allen key, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because it's seated in there. So now I should just be able to crank. And you're supposed to do this when the 25 foot-pounds, but the average human being can overdo that. So just literally go until it feels pretty freaking tight and aggressive to pull. I have a torque wrench, I will check it, but like that. And that's probably like over. So Ty, if you want to quickly grab the torque wrench over there. Grab your great torque wrench, pop it on there. It's probably, yeah, I have it at 40 foot-pounds. That's not coming off anytime soon. Reed, you want to straighten out the wheel real quick? Make sure everything looks dandy-wandy. That's not straight. Look at that, dude. And there you go. You just installed new tie rods on your BMW. Next up is the control arm. Stay tuned for next video for that of episode 4 of my time attack fucking BMW build. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed all the terrible things that happened in this video. I'm very depressed. My bank account went from being okay to being no-okay. And just like that, I just spent $700 so far on bushings. But after that, my car is going to drive like a freaking beauty. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And the OnlyFans is in the making. Coming to you soon. So I gotta say, besides my steering wheel, I'll let you see when I go straight, because I'm turning right now. And yes, my wheel is straight when I'm turning right. So, hold on. But I have to drive my traction control off because it keeps flashing my TC light. Alright, ready? Straight. That's straight. But other than that, the death wobble is very tame now. It only happens when I hit a bump for like half a second. It just goes a little bit when I merge. Steering is very responsive because of this amazing alignment that I put on it. But other than that, it is drivable. It is very drivable, besides it just being fucking cocked to the left a lot. So, next video is going to be me changing my my control arms. Spent a lot of money on that. Then after that, I gotta do my end links, and then boom, my front suspension is fully revamped. Because this car's suspension is very simple. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this flatline install video and part 3 of my car's autocross time attack build. It's gonna get very after I do these bushings, my car's gonna get very out of hand with aero. So hopefully you guys stick around, see that, and thank you guys for watching.